Welcome to Street X, where the Panda Oak is rarer than the Panda Daytona. Today we're doing a review of the multifunctional chronograph watch from the Royal Oak series, model 26331, in the Panda colorway. In fact, earlier, Dabao had done a few reviews on the blue dial and dual gold 2631 models, which many of you might have seen, including me, Lao Bai. But this Panda colorway is something different. I've never recorded before. Today I'm taking this opportunity, because a fellow watch enthusiast sent me a request to adjust the strap size. Previously, after the player finished, I was in a hurry to wear it and didn't have time to film. Now I have a bit of time to share and give everyone a proper understanding. For more information, you can follow Dabao's channel and interact in the comments section. First, let me talk about the overall configuration of this watch. It is equipped with an FP. It has the FP 185 movement. It's superior to toy versions with the 7750 movement, thicker at 13mm versus 11mm. The CNC Panda Oak with the 1185 is popular. As for the 26331 Panda dial, toy versions have a 13mm thickness with poor 7750 movement performance. No good options among them. Panda Oak with 1185 movement, Panda 2631, is popular. In Panda colorways, Panda Daytona and Panda Oak. Panda Daytona is 40mm by 12.4 meters, priced at $110,000, secondary market $180,000 to $190,000. 26331. Panda dial is 41mm by 11mm, official price $230,000. In the realm of Panda colorways, the two most famous watches are the Panda Daytona and the Panda Oak. Why second? Because its price is higher than the Panda Daytona. The Panda Daytona is 40mm and 12.4mm thick, priced at $110,000, and the secondary market price is around $180,000 to $190,000. As for this 26331 Panda dial, it is 41mm and 11mm thick, priced at $230,000 now. The secondary market price is about $270,000, costlier and thinner than the Panda Daytona. The diameter of the watch is 41, the thickness is 11mm, and the current cost is $230,000. The price in the second phase market is about $270,000. It is more expensive and thinner than Panda D. So overall, its acceptance in the market is indeed a bit weaker than that of the Panda Daytona, but that's just because it's priced higher. It's simply a more expensive item. From an aesthetic perspective, some people might find the 2631 more attractive, while others might prefer the Panda Daytona. It's all about personal taste, so you can choose based on your own aesthetic preferences. Today we discuss the FP1185 movement. Isn't this watch supposed to have the CA-L2385 movement? The original is costly and unavailable. The 2385 is a modified 1185, structurally similar, fitting well in the 26301. We've tried versions like the 15400 and 15000, but another movement that can be replaced with it is FP1185. Regarding the introduction of this movement, I put it on the public screen in the form of text and pictures. You can take a look. The 2385 machine is based on the 1185 and has made some minor changes, but the overall structure has not changed. This is why we can install the 1185 movement in this one. The 26301 watch is comfortable to wear. Any enthusiasts worry about the strap. The strap is often uncomfortable, digging into the skin, especially at seams. It feels like a knife edge, sharp and digs into your skin. This is common with Audemars Piguet due to their angular strap design. Many players have bought it and reported one issue: the strap can be quite uncomfortable as it tends to dig into the skin, especially at the seams. Just look at this area. This area feels like a knife edge, sharp and digging into your skin. Audemars Piguet's angular strap structure causes this. The strap design is square, with sharp edges. The octagonal bezel matches, making changes hard. Originals feel this way, less comfortable than Nautilus 5711. Beauty and comfort can't coexist. CNC customized parts are better than toy factory versions. Overall, the strap feels less sharp. The octagonal outer ring provides a good response, so it is difficult for us to change this. The strap's comfort doesn't match the Nautilus 5711. The CNC customized case, strap and buckle are superior to toy factory versions like the 15400 and 15500. The strap feels less sharp and uncomfortable, losing its cheap feel. This watch has been worn for about a month, and it feels more comfortable. It's the wear and tear that makes the strap edges more comfortable. The CNC customized parts offer better quality and comfort than toy versions, but subtle differences remain compared to the original. It doesn't feel as cheap anymore. It's much smoother and more comfortable. Plus, this watch has actually been worn by the customer for quite some time, about a month now. And overall, it feels even more comfortable, almost like it's been softened over time. But really, it's just the wear and tear from friction that has made the edges of the strap feel nicer. So, the CNC customized case, strap and buckle definitely have a better quality and comfort compared to the toy versions. But there are still some subtle differences when compared to the original. I hope everyone can understand that. Another point is, it's about the big membrane of the head particle. We can see that the toy versions currently on the market, including the 15401 and 15703, have already achieved some mobility. However, the range of movement still varies. With custom CNC, we can see that the range of motion is very clear, basically achieving a state similar to the original version. And we can take a look at the edge polishing first. The whole edge is actually very rounded after polishing. I also attached a picture and posted it on the public screen. You can take a look, as well as the brush texture of the whole watch. You can see what good brushed looks like. It's like fine lines, laid out without choppy feeling, and those brushed finishes, like raindrops, they don't form a continuous line and appear scattered. This highlights the contrast between good and average brushing texture and visual appeal. Small polishing on the crystal. The handling is easy. The side mirror, polishing and details of the case's finish and dimensions are precise. There are more than one factory making CNC watch cases on the market. Don't think, if you buy from one place, it will be the same as buying from another. The handling is actually quite comfortable. The side mirror polishing is very accurate. There are multiple CNC watch case factories. This industry has many players. The chronograph button often fails to return properly. This industry is not a monopoly industry. There are many people doing it. I have met several friends who have encountered a problem with the CNC watch case they made for others. The timing button always cannot be returned to its original position properly, even if the timing button is pressed in. The technology is turned on, the chronograph pointer is turned on and paused, but the return key is always stuck and does not rebound, which makes the chronograph function unable to work properly. This is a problem I often see. Later, after communicating with the factory, it was found that the size of the axis and the axis of the movement of the button inside were not matched well. Now think about it. If the button on a watch case isn't properly aligned, what about the other details? For instance, the overall chamfering, the smoothness of the rounded edges, and the state of the brushing. Look at the watch case we installed, including the overall polished corners. The line on the case back, the line on the watch case, and the line on the outer shell all align. These segments are a detail CNC watch cases should have, like our watch clasp. Good and bad clasps differ in matte texture. They differ in lettering size and edge spacing. The edge is narrow, and many factories make AP letters too small, which is the first point. The second point is the fine internal sandblasting, showing a silver-grey matte texture, not rough. Pay attention to these details to avoid mistakes. As for the watch case factory, the first point is that the AP letters are a bit too small. The second point is that the internal sandblasting is very fine, presenting a silver-grey color with a matte texture, rather than a rough feel. So, we need to pay attention to these small details to avoid making mistakes and getting stuck. And there's another point here. The lettering is a horizontally brushed English character. Around the lettering is an extremely delicate matte finish, which is also a type of satin treatment. This part is also matte, but because of the back and forth dark blue, it has a pressing mark, which is quite normal. The lettering is very bright, and the surrounding matte finish is also quite shiny, but both the upper and lower sections are brushed. The delicacy of the brushing must be on point. Including here, treatment of the edge of the round opening without a foot clasp, and the flexibility of the button, are all tests of CNC standards. Another thing is the watch case and the case back. We can see that the height of the screws on the case back is level with the height of the crystal and the case back itself. The screws don't stick out, and they might even be slightly recessed. Then there's the circular brushing, and in the middle there's a finely sandblasted font along with a mirror polish. On the case back we can see these three processes: circular brushing, fine sandblasting, and mirror polishing. These are all techniques we should pay attention to. The screws are recessed, the mirror finish is raised. These are standards for judging the 2631 assembly and CNC machining, so consider them whether doing it yourself or elsewhere. The mirror surface is slightly raised, and these are all standards for judging the assembly of the 2631 and the CNC machining process. So everyone should take these into account, whether you're getting it done for yourself or somewhere else. It's good to have done it, and you should take a look. If there are any issues, send them back promptly for adjustments. Another thing is about the Audemars Piguet dial. The dial, hands, and calendar are all custom made with imported components from Germany. No quality components are available domestically, similar to our imported Panda Daytona parts. The video display isn't great, so I'll post clearer pictures. The CD pattern on subdials is delicate. Authentic dials have a fine, clear CD pattern with... Authentic ones have a CD pattern in the dials. The CD pattern is fine and clear, with clean lines and no noise. You won't see any bumps or impurities. It should look clean and uniform. A good CD pattern appears. The dial's pattern is different. This is why the Pixel 2031's dial shows different gloss at angles. The CD pattern on the three subdials is so delicate, showing obvious radiance under natural light. The dial's checkered pattern, including the small squares direction and texture, differs. Pixel 2031's dial varies in gloss. The CD pattern on the subdials is so delicate that we see a clear radiance of the fan shape. Cross-radiating pattern includes 3, 6, 9, 12. The numbers 12, 1, 3, and 10 are richly printed, with a three-dimensional quality. The CD pattern on subdials is radiant. The cross-radiating pattern enriches ink for 3, 6, 9, 12, adding depth. The Audemars Piguet logo is polished, hollowed, with 3D. The cross-radiating pattern affects ink printing for 3, 6, 9, and 12. Fonts for 12, 1, 3, and 10 are richly printed with 3D quality. Ink thickness is visible. At 12 o'clock, the Audemars Piguet logo is smoothly polished, hollowed out with no rough edges. At the 12 o'clock position, the Audemars Piguet logo is completely hollowed out, and there are no rough edges. It's polished very smoothly. The English letters at the brushing position are also three-dimensional prints, showing a clear thickness and texture. Now looking at the date window at the 5 o'clock position, the edges of the date window are recessed, creating a step. And this step has a curved surface. Additionally, the texture above this step is matte, giving it a distinct character. And the size of the calendar has specific requirements. Basically, it's a top and bottom bowl, space on the sides. This is the font used for Audemars Piguet's replica, including the state that the original font should have. Markers are a key issue. The Royal Oak series features fine stick markers, which toy factories often struggle with. Markers might be too close, with inconsistent spacing. We remove the markers and use infrared calibration to fix them. The two stick markers are too close together, with inconsistent spacing above and below. For example, the lower part might be tighter while the upper part is wider, causing the two markers to be misaligned or one to be higher than the other. These are some common issues we encounter. When we get these problems with the hard disk, since they are installed by hand, they can happen. So what do? We take the stick markers off ourselves and use infrared calibration to reassemble them. Reassemble. We make sure that every stick marker is perfectly aligned, whether it's at the 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock positions, or any other angles. We adjust them so that when the hands align at the hour, it looks really nice. Otherwise, if the markers are misaligned, even if the hands are perfectly aligned, you'll notice that the markers are off, and it just looks uncomfortable. Next, let's talk about the texture of the hands. You can see that I've attached some details of the hands on the screen. This is the effect of the hands after we've assembled them. It's not as prominent as the Rolex's thick hands, but it is still a thick hand. You can't see any obvious little holes. The second point is about the small cap around the hand axis. The small cap around it is very rounded and full. You can see that it's nicely rounded and doesn't have any missing corners or anything like that. The hands themselves have very weak burrs, and the entire hand body is relatively full. Unlike the toy versions, there are no obvious burrs or jagged edges, and the hands have a slightly thinner, iron-like appearance. So I won't go into detail about the use of paper, because I have talked about it too much. Finally, let's take a look at how this watch looks on the wrist. For someone with a wrist size of 27 cm, the 41mm size fits just right. A wrist circumference of 17 cm is suitable for sizes between 40 to 44 mm, so 41 and 42 are perfectly in the middle, which is a standard fit. Who is this watch for? It fits wrists 16 to 18 cm. Smaller than 16 cm, it may look big. Just a reference. Now, the luminous effect. Audemars Piguet's luminescence is underwhelming. The powder on hands and markers is a long strip. Its brightness isn't strong, but the color is nice. The color fullness is good. Our custom luminous hands are very close to the original. You can't tell the difference. That's all for our review. To know more, discuss in comments or follow Darbao's channel. The fullness is still quite good. Oh, we can also take a look at our custom luminous hands compared to the original ones. They are really very close and you can't tell the difference. Alright, that's all for our review of this watch. If you want to know more, feel free to discuss in the comments, or you can follow Darbao's channel. See you next time.